I was born into the darkness. You merely adopted it. Hey guys, it's Tychondrius here doing another action figure review, and as you can see, this is for the Batman Missions 3-pack, which is Batman and Robin versus Bane. Now, as far as I know, it has a subtitle of Prison Escape Bane, I think. In other countries, over here it's just called Batman, Robin, and Bane 3-pack. But I think in Canada, maybe, and in the US, I think it has the kind of subtitle of Prison Escape Bane, because if I flip around the back of the box before I get onto the figures, bear with me there a moment. You can see there's a quite nice image of Bane punching through a wall in a prison, and it says Blackgate Penitentiary behind it, and you have Batman with his weird power-armed gauntlet thing, and Robin swinging in from the top left-hand corner. But nowhere else on the box, as far as I can see, says it's a Prison Escape Bane. So on the side of the box, it just says a 17.5 centimeter Bane. And then it has image of him glowing on the other side of the box, which is his gimmick. He has a glow gimmick, which I will try and see if I can get it looking good on camera. You can even see there's a try me button, so Bane sits in the center. You have, I think it was Robin off this side and Batman on this side, and then you just press the button for him to do his gimmick. So onto the figures themselves. I'll do Bane last, and I will go to the Batman and the Robin first. Now, the Robin figure is really cool looking. I like the design of him. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is based on the Damian Wayne version of Robin. He looks more like that version than Tim Drake or the the other one, the kind of original Robin. It doesn't look like the one that went on to become Nightwing, which for some reason the name keeps escaping me, which I will probably remember halfway through this review and go, ah, that's him. But he looks more like the actual Damian Wayne version of Robin than any the other ones I'm aware of. He could very much be Tim Drake, or it could be the I keep on saying Ward version, but that's the name of the actor that played that version of Robin in the old 60s show. So, but it's a very nice sculpt. You see the bodysuit is quite nicely sculpted on him. He has the mask, non-removable mask with the whited out eyes. His head is on a ball joint. As you can see me messing around with it, he does have some nice range of movement on it. You can do a 360 on it, but you kind of wouldn't really want to do it. He has a bit of head tilt. He has up and down. He has 360 in the arms, and his arms can go out that much. It is hindered by the sculpt of the padding on the armor. He does have a single end at the elbow and a swivel at the elbow, and he has a swivel on the wrist and a hinge on the wrist. Now his hand doesn't go back too much because of the sculpting of the glove, but it can go in quite a bit. He has a waist swivel. He has single jointed, or single kind of swivel legs, which are hindered by the butt armor, so you can't go too far back. And then you have a hinge at the knee. Nothing else in the feet or in the rest of the leg, but he does have 2 peg holes for standing him up. He does have a soft good cape, which is attached in here at the back. It doesn't have to go all the way in. I thought it might have gone all the way in, so you might hide the hole a bit, but you can see a slight slit on the side where it's kind of pushed in or pushed through. But all in all, he's quite nice. Now, I do know he is a different sculpt to the single pack one. There is a single carded Batman. There's 2 different single carded Batmans, a single carded Robin, and the main difference between the Robins is completely different sculpt. Plus, the single carded one actually comes with a weapon. He comes with sort of a pole arm sort of weapon, whereas the one in this 3-pack actually doesn't come with any weapons. Onto the Batman. The Batman has these clip-on gauntlet-y kind of power armor things that he has a peg here for his hand to go through, and he has a clip for it to go around, and it kind of clips over his shoulder. Now the only thing is you have to have his hand fairly flat to put it on properly, and then you lose all range of movement on his arms when you have them in place. His arms pretty much are the same articulation as Robin, but they kind of click into place, and then you can't really move the arms at all. They are both removable, so if you don't want them, you don't need them, which is a good thing. And once you have them off, his shoulders can go out that much. He has a full 360 on the arm. He has joints in the elbows which are incredibly tight, and then you have a swivel just like Robin's, a single jointed elbow and a swivel with a wrist and swivel. And again, just like Robin, his hand doesn't go back too much because of the hinge, or because of the sculpting of the glove, but it does have that. He does have a 360 head on a ball joint. His eyes are actually painted in. I'm not sure if you can see that there. He has actually the whites of his eyes. His eyes aren't just whited out. He has that kind of New 52 logo. He has a waist swivel, no kind of ab crunch. He can go forward and back that much with the T-crotch style joint on the hips. They don't go out to the side or anything. They do splits. He has single jointed knees with no swivel and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet. He also has a soft goods cape just like Robin. So and just as I was Dick Grayson, that is the version of Robin. Like I said, I would remember it halfway through the bloody thing. It's the Dick Grayson version of Robin that went on to become Nightwing. So yeah, I don't think this is supposed to be Dick Grayson. I think it's I think it's supposed to be the Damian Wayne version, slightly older, because I know Damian Wayne is only like a kid in like most iterations of him. Then again, could be wrong. It's the colouring and the uniform just reminds me more of the Damian Wayne version of Robin than any of the other ones. And then, just for a comparison, because I have them to hand, here is the single card Batman. Now, I just want to do a quick comparison before I move on to Bane, because you can see they reuse parts on him. So everything, his arms all the way down, both arms are identical on both figures. Only difference is the paint apps. You have the black shoulder pad on the newer one. You have the gold on the gauntlets for the kind of blades. The black is a bit more glossy plastic because you don't have the. This is a grey plastic with spray black for the gauntlet part. The legs are identical from the knee downwards, but the thigh and rest of the body is different, and the heads are, as far as I can tell, the heads are actually identical. The only difference is the fact that the 3-pack one has the eyes painted in. I did do a bit of a wash on this one, so it does look a little bit different. I tried to give him a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow kind of type thing going on, so his face does look a little bit different, but his skin tone would have been exactly the same as the 3-pack version. They have the same Batman logo, but the bodies are actually different, and the upper legs are all different, and the utility belts are completely different. But all in all, they do stand exact same height. So I will do a measurement on them before the end of this, but I'll get into Bane first. Bane is quite a cool figure. I really like the sculpting work on him. His head doesn't do 360 because of the light up gimmick, but he does have a side to side rotation. His arms can go that much, out that much, and do a 360. He has the single jointed elbow with the rotation in the wrist, and swivel in the wrist. His hand can go out a bit more than both Batman and Robin's because of the sculpting. It's not too hindered, so you get a bit more range of movement. He does actually have a waist swivel, even though he has a light up gimmick. His light up gimmick is built into here. This is his venom chamber, I would imagine. There's one single screw holding the plate on, and then when you unscrew it, you open it up, and it probably takes the small tiny batteries. I haven't checked it, but for his gimmick, you just press that, and he lights up. And these light flashes, and then stays on a bit, and then kind of glows out. I will try it with the lights off, just to see if it looks a little bit better, but he does have that light up gimmick. No weapons. He does have a swivel T-crotch type deal for his hips. Just a swivel forward and back. He doesn't really go back that much because of the pants sculpt. He can go forward that much. Not a great range of movement for sitting or anything like that. Single jointed knees. Now here's something interesting. He actually has a swivel at the boots. Unlike the other figures, they don't actually have that. I think that's more for stability than anything else, because he's quite a hefty figure. It helps him stand up if you kind of tilt the legs out a little bit. So before I go ahead and do the measurements, I'm just going to turn off my lights and see if I can get his glow a little bit better. So, not bad. Quite a good figure. I love the head sculpt. Even though he's had several looks over the years, I think this is one of the coolest ones. Never been a big huge fan of the whole luchador style mask on him, even though I know it's part of his heritage, stuff like that. And I was never a huge fan of the Dark Knight Rises, the Christopher Nolan style mask. It was good, but it wasn't brilliant. Left a lot to be desired. Oh, and he does also have the peg holes as well on the bottom of the feet. So for height comparisons, or for heights, I'm getting the old trusty tape measure. So Bane stands about just around 7 inches tall. Batman comes in maybe 6.5. Now I know I'm measuring off the other one, but he should be exactly the same height as the 3-pack one. So yeah, they're both around the 6.5 mark. And Robin is actually just under 6. Oop, knocked him over. Robin is just under the 6.5 mark, which would be about true to form. He's just a little, looks like 6.75 or 6.25 maybe, which is true to form. He should be a bit smaller than Batman. So all in all, he's quite good. So for another comparison, I do have the Joker from that line. So here is the Batman Missions Joker. So you can see Robin is actually a small bit taller than him from the looks of it. Joker seems to be a little bit of a runt, but Bane just towers over everyone else. So all in all, he's a really cool figure. It's a great 3-pack. Now initially I wasn't going to pick this up because it was quite pricey. It was about, it's 30, or initially it was €37, which is a fair price for, I know it's 3 figures, but I still think it's a bit of a hefty price. But they dropped the price on it recently, so I decided, what the hell, I'll try and pick it up. So I did pick that up. It's a good set if you can find it cheaper than the €37 I paid for it, which, like, if you do the math and work it out into dollars, if you're in the US, you kind of works out at nearly 40, 50, 40, $42-ish, maybe, I think, thereabouts. Probably not that much, maybe just under $40 for all 3 figures, which is nearly a fair good price per figure, like. So all in all, I think it is a good set. It's just initially was a bit too overpriced for my liking, but overall it's a good set, so I do recommend picking it up. I know it's kind of contradicting myself with the prices, but it is, if you're a fan of Bane, it is a great version of Bane. It's not too kiddie designed, and it's not too it does have posability as well. It's not too lax on the posability. There is a few, like if you had ankle joints and stuff like that, or double jointed knees, or the extra kind of ab crunch would make the line so much bigger, but it is supposed to be more of a budget line, hence why the price of the individual figures are around €12 over here, so that's the kind of trade-off. But all in all, great figure, and I do recommend picking them up. So There he is with his little glow, venom glow again. So all in all, great figure. Do recommend picking him up. And as I say in my videos, I hope you enjoy this video, and please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Cheers, guys.